Have you ever looked at someone at the absolute top of their game and just wondered, how? Is it magic? Were they just born with some special gift? Well, today we're digging into Robert Greene's incredible book, Mastery, because he lays out a roadmap to greatness that, believe it or not, is available to every single one of us.
So, let's just get right to the big question. We all love that story of the natural genius, right? The prodigy who just shows up, fully formed, and blows everyone away. It's a great story, but according to Greene, that's all it is, a myth. It's a story that actually lets us off the hook from doing the real work.
And this is the core idea of his whole framework. Mastery isn't some genetic lottery. It's a process. It's a journey. And it turns out it's a surprisingly universal path that people like Leonardo da Vinci, Mozart, and Einstein all walked. And the best part? That path is open to you too.
Okay, so where does a journey like this even begin? Well, the very first step, and honestly it's the most important one, is discovering what Greene calls your life's task. And no, this isn't just a job or a career path. It's way, way deeper than that. It's your unique calling. Greene's idea here is pretty amazing. He says we're all born with this sort of inner compass. I want you to think way back to when you were a little kid. What were you drawn to? What could you do for hours and just completely lose yourself in? That spark of pure curiosity, that's the force he's talking about. It was pointing you in the right direction from the very beginning.
But then, life happens, right? As we grow up, that quiet little inner voice starts getting drowned out by all the noise from the outside. You've got parents, teachers, society, all telling you what you should be doing. The pressure to make money, to be famous, to just fit in. It can push you onto what Greene calls a false path, and you might even look successful, but deep down it just feels empty.
So the answer, Greene says, is to stage a rebellion. You have to consciously tune out all that external noise and learn to listen to that original voice again. The path to mastery doesn't start with some online career quiz. It starts by going back and remembering what truly lit you up before the world told you who you were supposed to be.
Now, finding your calling is huge, but it's really just the starting gun. You don't get to just skip to the end. Now you have to get your hands dirty and pay your dues. This is the apprenticeship phase. This is where your passion gets hammered and forged into real, actual skill over thousands of hours of work.
This is a massive mental shift. So many of us jump into a field looking for the paycheck, the title, the quick win. But a real apprentice, they're there for one thing and one thing only: to learn. The real prize isn't a business card. It's literally rewiring your brain. It's about completely transforming the way you see and interact with the world.
Greene breaks this down into 3 modes. First, you're just a sponge. You're in deep observation mode. You're learning the written rules, sure, but more importantly, you're learning the unwritten ones, the politics, the culture. Then comes skills acquisition. This is the grind. It's practice, practice, and more practice until the basic skills are so ingrained they're second nature. And finally, you get to experiment. You start applying what you've learned, making small moves, and learning from what happened.
This right here, this is the mantra. You have to repeat this to yourself over and over. It means you might take the job with the better mentor instead of the bigger salary. Why? Because the knowledge you gain in this phase, that's the real currency. It pays off for the rest of your life.
And after you put in all that time, after thousands of hours of just absorbing the rules, something incredible happens. You finally earn the right to break them. This is the creative active phase. It's the whole point of the apprenticeship. You start connecting dots nobody else sees. You start combining ideas in new ways, and your own true, authentic voice starts to come through.
And that brings us to the final summit, the last stage of this whole journey, achieving true mastery. This is where all that hard work and focus pays off and turns into something that feels, well, almost like a superpower.
So what is mastery, really? It's more than just being an expert. It's a kind of high-level intuition. It's when all the years of practice and knowledge fuse together into an instinctive feel for your field. You're not just seeing the individual chess pieces anymore. You see the whole board. You can feel the right move without even having to think about it.
And let's be crystal clear about this. It is not magic. It's pure cause and effect. Mastery is what happens when you apply an insane amount of time and intense focus to one thing. It's earned, hour by grueling hour. It's built through pure grit and patience.
You know, a big piece of this final stage is actually a psychological battle. You have to shed what Greene calls the false self. Think of it like a heavy coat made of other people's expectations and your own insecurities.
To reach mastery, you have to have the guts to take that coat off and operate completely from your true self, that original voice that got you started on this path in the first place.
And of course, the path isn't a straight line. It's full of screw-ups and frustrations, but here's the difference. A master sees failure differently. They don't see a dead end, they see data. Every single mistake is just a lesson. It's a seed for some future breakthrough. It's all just part of the process.
So we've walked through the whole blueprint, finding your calling, grinding through the apprenticeship, and finally reaching that intuitive peak of mastery. But really, this journey isn't about historical figures. It's about you. So the only real question left is the one you see right now. What was that unique thing you were drawn to as a kid? What's the thing that's been waiting for you all this time? What is your life's task?